The one thing to get to the next level that I want you to focus on, it's interesting, all things measured improve, right? So there's something, as you know, called greens and reg, and I'm glad to hear you're tracking it. But check this out. This is this is worth knowing. So the amount of greens you hit directly correlates to the score you'll shoot. So see, like you said, like you're shooting like mid to low 80s and you're hitting 5 greens and reg. So it makes sense, right? To get to that next level, if you can hit more greens and reg, like let's say you hit 10 greens and reg, the chances of you breaking, 7 or breaking 80 is better. If you hit 11, it's even better because think about 11, that means you missed 8 greens, right? So the 8 greens you missed, or excuse me, 7 greens, the 7 greens you missed, if you just get on the green and two putt and make bogey, that would be 7 bogeys. And then you should have 11 pars, which would be a 79, right? But really, getting 12 greens in regulation is way safer to get in the 70s because 12 greens in regulation means you had 12 pars, 6 holes that you could potentially just chip it up and two putt and not get up and down because you can't assume you're going to get up and down. And then you get out of there with a 78, right? So I want you to focus in on greens reg. Now, what's interesting about greens and reg is when that's the objective, suddenly the pin position is less important than the center of the green. For example, let's say like the other day, I had 17 greens in regulation in a row going into the 18th hole, and the pin's in the front, and I got a wedge in my hand. Well, I could have swung hard at a lob wedge, but I could have ripped it off the green. It could have spun off the green. So I hit a soft 56-degree wedge so that has less spin to make sure I got it onto the green and got it past the pin to the center of the green. And so what changes is club choice when you start trying to hit greens and reg because you don't want to risk missing the green when you're trying to get your green in regulations, if you will. And so what I'd say is immediately when you play your next game, make it a focus. What's funny is if you miss the fairway, you realize pretty quickly that it's more difficult also to get on the green in regulation than if you are in the fairway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it becomes like a beacon, I would say, in a stormy sea. If you're hitting greens in regulation, then you just got a two putt to get a par. You know what I mean?
Yeah.